Hey, B, you up? Listen, I just came to talk for a little bit. Now, I'm not going to keep you long. I just came to run my mouth for a second. Did you see the Jamie Foxx special over there on Netflix? Girl, it was good. Yeah, I know that y'all feel like Jamie ain't all that funny sometimes or whatever, but it was really good. Like, I definitely was over there watching, enjoying myself. I teared up a bit. Just a little piece I did. It was very emotional. He did open up and talk about the fact that he did have a stroke. And at one point, they didn't know what was going on. They went inside of his head or whatever, and to see where the bleeding was coming from. They couldn't really find out where that was coming from, but it was something that was going on that was causing him to have a stroke, and he had to relearn some things. You know what I'm saying? And it was a lot. It was a lot that Jamie had to deal with, and it was just a good. He brought both of his daughters out. I know we typically see the oldest daughter, not much of the young daughter. He did a performance with her. He ended up, getting on the piano at a later time. And I feel like his set was more so about storytelling than it was about comedy and making people laugh. And it really was giving like a personal moment for Jamie to be able to connect with his fans. And when I tell y'all, I really enjoyed it. I think Jamie Foxx did a really good job, with that special. He was so emotional. He was really, 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 really emotional, and it's crazy because, he kept referring to himself as Jamie Foxx, Jamie Foxx, Jamie Foxx, Jamie Foxx don't get sick, Jamie Foxx don't this, Jamie Foxx don't that, you know. And that was interesting to see because I do feel like people think that they're invincible, especially with their celebrityism sometimes, and it reminded him that you are just as human as anybody else. And for him to go through that, it was a very vulnerable moment for him. And it was just good for him to tell his testimony, tell his story and stuff, connect with his people. And I thought it was good. So if you guys got a chance to check it out, let me know your thoughts about it down below. And if you have not gotten a chance to check it out, then maybe you should go and check it out. Um, what else I want to talk to y'all about? Oh, y'all know, girl, the people have been going up in flames about Jay-Z. The accuser sat down. We did a video on that last night, but the accuser sat down with NBC News. Just wasn't that much of a good look for her. Unfortunately, they were able to poke a lot of holes in her story, vet her story in ways that obviously Mr. Busby did not have time to do. And it's not a good look because now, when it comes to the people that often believe victims first for those individuals, some of those people that may believe victims first are now going to be on reserve, and they might look at it like victims are lying. Who knows? All right. I think, in my opinion, the best way to be is to honestly not to choose a side, but to sit back and just watch how the information plays out. And I think that it's perfectly okay to question either side, in my opinion. If some things are not making sense, it's okay to be like, well, I don't know about that over there, when it comes to the survivor, the accuser, the victim side. And then if you have the perpetrator or whoever, it's okay to be like, well, sir, you're not making sense over here because of XYZ. You know what? I don't know what's going on, but I just want to sit back and get the information. Sometimes people feel like when you critique like the perpetrator or whatever, the accused perpetrator, that you're on the side of the victim and whoever else. And then some people feel like when you critique the victim, the accuser, survivor, or whatever, they feel like you're on the side of the perpetrator. And that's not true. I'm on the side of information. And if the side of information is not looking good and it's not making sense, let me sit back until I get more information to find out who's really telling the truth here. And in all honesty, should it go to another level as far as courts, they're going to be the ones that's going to make the final decision on who's guilty versus who's not, versus our public opinions. So it is what it is. But Jay-Z and his team have definitely filed yet another document for dismissal of this particular case overall, and they are surely using this sit down interview that she had with NBC because it's just not lining up and it's not making sense. Like, it's just not, and it's really, really not a good look. It's not a good look. She's standing by her story. Okay, she even said maybe, I got some identities mixed up or something. So it's like, did that happen to you? But it didn't happen by way of Jay-Z and Diddy, or what really happens? You know what I'm saying? It's still, even with her saying that things happened to her, there were still some things that just did not, fully make sense. And this is going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with the courts throwing this out, because Diddy may feel very confident in a lot of the allegations and the 120 people that Busby has, that he could potentially get some of that stuff thrown out, because has he truly vetted people if he's just getting these clients in by way of someone else that has supposedly vetted them, right? It doesn't mean that Diddy is going to get off on the case that he currently has. He's on trial for sex trafficking and racketeering, so he very well could go down for that. I've said a long time ago that I feel like Cassie's lawsuit was enough for them to bring those charges. They didn't need the extra salaciousness, or oh, he messed with these kids and this, that, and the other that Busby was bringing, to the front. And not that all of those victims are, not telling the truth or anything, but it's definitely gonna make people seek more. Like, okay, versus than what's on the surface, even though I feel like you should do that anyway. Him presenting this on behalf of those victims is not a good look, if because I think they said this may be his third case where it kind of fell through, where he was trying to accuse Diddy of certain things and it just wasn't fully lining up, right? So it's a mess overall, girl. It's just a mess for him overall. And we just gonna have to see what's gonna happen. It seems like Jay-Z and his team are going to be on Mr. Busby's neck with all of the attorneys attached to the filings, on top of whoever this third party is that he's saying he got this information from or got this client from. It's like, as big and reputable as a law firm as you have, I just don't see why if you don't have the time, somebody in your office should have had the time to vet her even more than what the other company did before they sent her over to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. It's disappointing. I don't know if he's going to get disbarred or not, but I feel like Rock Nation and their people are going to keep their foot on Mr. Busby's neck until they could potentially get him disbarred. But I don't know. I feel like he's still very well connected in Texas, so I don't know if he'll actually get disbarred. He may be able to still work those cases, but I don't know if he would be a trustworthy attorney for some victims moving forward. If y'all want to be taken serious, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts about that. But Jay-Z standing so strong on his name and being very clear about what he did or did not do when it comes to these allegations isn't too far off a bit than what T.I. did. He and Tiny, when they were being accused of essaying women and abusing women and all kind of stuff like that, he and Tiny also spoke out like whatever's being said about us is absolutely not true at all. So much so, they ended up having a case where I believe one of the ladies, Sabrina, who accused T.I. of putting an item up against her head and saying "BITI kill you," she took them to court. I think she probably took them to court over defamation or something. She had a lot of claims against T.I. and Tiny, and the judge ended up dismissing a lot of those claims. It was like 5 different claims that they dismissed. And with them dismissing those claims, she really didn't have a case anymore. So therefore, they ordered her to pay for T.I. and Tiny's attorneys, which was like $90-some thousand. I think it was like $96,000 or $97,000. And she hasn't fully paid that. So now I believe they were supposed to have a whole nother hearing that was supposed to take place this month, and then it got postponed to June of next year. But what they're saying is that T.I. filed a countersuit or whatever. He done found, I don't even know if it's a countersuit, but he's basically filed to sue Sabrina over these over defamation, basically. And he could potentially win that. Okay, he could potentially win that. They're saying court documents obtained by TMZ reveal T.I. claims his family cut ties with Peterson, citing her as a negative influence. He alleges that after the fallout, Peterson retaliated by posting false and damaging accusations against him and his wife, okay? They said T.I. filed a defamation lawsuit against Sabrina Peterson more than 3 years after she accused him of holding a gun to her head and engaging in sexual misconduct involving other women, okay? So he's now suing her for defamation, and I feel like they may win. And maybe T.I. is feeling really hyped up because, they ended up winning their lawsuit with OMG. The company, I believe it could have been Maytel, can't remember the company, but whoever does the OMG dolls, they ended up winning that lawsuit. I feel like the lawsuit may have gotten dismissed at some point, and then T.I. and Tiny and them continued to fight for it, and they ended up winning a lot of money. They got a lot of judgment for the OMG girls, and maybe he felt ambitious, okay, with the legal system at this time. Maybe he's felt fueled because of Jay-Z sticking up and sticking out for his name, that he decided to come back around and file a defamation lawsuit against Sabrina. And y'all, I'll be honest, it's very unfortunate for her, because she did say that this has created a hardship for her. She has to represent herself right now because she cannot afford an attorney. She's still kind of standing by some of the claims that she did not lie when she said what she said. But the judge dismissed 5 of those claims that she made against them. So with that being said, it's like, girl, they may win this case, considering the fact that I don't want to say they didn't believe you, but I didn't believe you. You know what I'm saying? So that's just an unfortunate situation. They said in her lawsuit filed more than 3 years ago, Peterson accused T.I. and Tiny of defaming her on social media. Posts that called her strange, okay, denied her allegation T.I. once held a gun to her head and disputed her claims T.I. sexually assaulted multiple women. T.I. and Tiny fought the lawsuit up through California's second appellate district, which eventually spiked Peterson's claims for trade libel, intentional and negligent interference with prospective economic advantage, and intentional and negligent infliction of emotional distress. After the 5 claims were dismissed, Peterson was ordered to pay for T.I. and Tiny's fees. Okay? Very unfortunate, honey. It's been very difficult for her. And they were trying to push the case out to like September of next year. And she's like, why is this taking so long? I was hoping we could get this resolved much sooner. So they pushed it out to June. But she was supposed to have a case or something this month. It was supposed to happen, I believe, on the 10th. And then it ended up getting deferred to a later date. And within that time frame, T.I. has decided to file a lawsuit for defamation against Miss Ma'am. So I kind of hate it for her, just a little bit. I don't know if T.I. did the stuff that she said, but the judge did throw it out, or, the appellate court did. So I guess they felt like it wasn't any factual basis, like she wasn't telling the truth. And I kind of feel bad because, girl, not only is you finna owe these folks their attorney fees and you already having a hard time, you're about to possibly owe them more than that. So, this is a lot. This is a lot. It's a lot going on out here in these streets, girl. And I really hate it for her. I really do. Like, that's just, girl, these people is not playing. Y'all also heard about Cardi B and Tasha K, right? Tasha K, first of all, Cardi B. Now, this was interesting. And I saw this in the lawsuit when I got a chance to check it out the other day. I got a chance to go through the lawsuit and look at some things. And what was interesting is, first of all, for the people, Cardi B sued Tasha K over defamation. She was only suing for roughly about 75 or whatever, 75,000. The jury awarded her about up to $4 million. Okay. I think that could have been in 2022. Well, in 2023, or maybe it was later 2022, between 22 and 23, Tasha and Cardi had a sit down to where it appears that they decided to lower the judgment. Although the jury awarded the $4 million, it appears that Cardi was willing to take $500,000. Okay, in the time frame of Cardi accepting the $500,000 and also garnishing some wages of Tasha's, Tasha decided to move some things around and put things in offshore accounts and move it from one company to another company that may be tied to her husband. They're saying, and his brother. It's been a lot of stuff that they have going on. Okay. And so she also filed for bankruptcy, and Cardi's attorneys came to the front and said, wait a minute, I don't like this because Miss Ma'am is using this bankruptcy situation as an excuse and a reason to kind of prolong and take advantage of the system and not get this lady her money. And she's acting broke and destitute with this bankruptcy filing, but she actually ain't. This lady is over there living in luxury, paying about $7,000 for rent every month. Okay, she's over there doing her thing. Meanwhile, my client is over here still sitting around here waiting on when the hell she gonna get her money. So, bankruptcy is for certain type of individuals, and they're trying to say Miss Tasha K is not what she's claiming to be. All right. So y'all need to go ahead and dismiss this case. Tasha already knows, according to, Cardi's attorneys, that even even with you filing for this bankruptcy, it doesn't, make the judgment that you have against you currently go away. It doesn't. It still stands. It's still on the table. Okay. You are required. You were found guilty. You're going to have to pay this money. Period. You already knew that. You understood that the moment that we kind of amended some things for you. So we was trying to do something for you, give you a little piece of a favor and amend some things, but you coming over here and still trying to delay and not trying to pay your way. And we not finna have that. All right. And it seems like, the lawsuit was kind of connected to her husband as well. The first one. So I'm wondering, are they gonna be trying to garnish wages of the new company? How does that work? I don't know, but it looks like Cardi is still on Tasha's head. And I remember when Cardi was considering giving Tasha a break on that amount, and people were like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. Cardi, don't give her no break. And I'm wondering if Cardi may regret that right now. Does she regret lowering that amount down to $500,000? Or does she wish she would have kept it as high as she did if she known that, they were going to file for bankruptcy and move money to offshore accounts and things like that, So, but that's what's going on. And that's what's going on at this time. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see how that's going to play out for Tasha, and whether Cardi's attorneys are going to be able to sway the courts into dropping, dismissing this bankruptcy case and making sure that they get the coins that they're supposed to have. All right. But I just came, like I said, to chit chat with you guys briefly, not talking about a whole lot, but feel free to leave your thoughts and comments down below on everything that I just talked about today. I am JamiThatsMe. You can follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, all of that. Okay. You can catch me on Facebook somewhere around there, girl. Okay. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.